Yes.
As far as you know?
Yes.
So that'll work. And then actually we have one chair left over, I believe, at the end. Is my math right, guys? Josh, I'm moving over. Right, well, no, I miscalculated. We need Josh. Yeah, let's put, if you don't mind, let's put Derek right here. And I'm gonna put Josh. I'm gonna leave 4 seats up there in the corner. But I've got, Josh needs to have a seat, or I'm moving over there, and then I have myself, Deidre, Hillary, and Missy. Okay, if you don't mind, let's do that. And Derek can stay there, and then Gary, you can. Kind of gonna do it. I think.
I'll go around that way.
Well, no, now we've got an extra seat here, so we can actually make it look different. If we move, I follow what I'm trying to figure out. So we need Derek. We have Derek here. We move Josh there. Then that leaves seats for the 3 or the 4 people there. I'll sit over there. Then I think you have room. You can continue to. My math right? Derek can be there, then Josh can sit here, and then you can fill in. You're Josh. If I'm right. I'm gonna move Derek there, Derek. Then y'all can put Derek wherever you want to in terms of that. It's kind of I think we've got an extra seat over here, do we not? Josh, Paul, and Danny. And so then we have that seat there, correct?
And one or that one?
It's a word.
I didn't realize. Oh, yeah. See, I used to go down there
I'm trying to get organized. That's how that is. So,
many years ago.
we're gonna move Josh down.
So we went to Irving.
Derek can be there, and that leaves us more room for Gillespie, our 2 guests, and Kevin. He's sitting here, and then we're just gonna yes, they'll be good. And I'm having Josh beside you, and probably Kevin here, 2 guests, and Paul.
Because Irving was just as bad as boys.
Josh, we have you over beside Paul, over there. This is Carl or Kevin. Or guest of honors to be up here, shall I say. And Danny is coming, correct? That's one. Okay. Yeah, he's here. Okay. Then the rest of the thing we can just fit in the middle as people. No. Sorry, that's what we need, Mr. Lynch. Because we have our 4. Yeah, we have it at the table there. We put a chair there. We run out of space here because you're here and Lynch, and then I wanted either Kevin, actually with Josh here, I wanted room for the 4 guests, Carl and Kevin and the 2.
It is what it is.
Yeah, she's welcome to sit there, Tammy, at the end, how she wants to grab them. We both think that's $1,000. Jack would either have to be, in here.
He is not calling in. He is not. I was looking for you. I'm sorry. He's not going to call in.
Yeah, go be there, and then I have Derek there. Carl, Kevin, and Taylor, he's coming in,
Hi, Mr. Danny. How are you?
Gotta be back by 3. Yeah, 3 is all
You may sit right there. I'm gonna sit with Johnny.
Yeah, I was looking for her.
I don't want as much hesitation.
That's all I do every day, many times. Should be. I turn it over all the time. That's why I didn't sit there.
Just take us off and
Oh, yeah. Been there for that. I need this generation was through
that lower level, and I can find one, you know, have it long. But all that is
amazing.
not there and straight in his face. Because I still left enough room for people to access their in the back there. I said, still left enough room. There's a little road that goes back there like the garage. Linda, I saw your email. I just tried to look at it, so I'll get you the number. It's a busy time of year. You got reports and all kinds of stuff to do for January. No, you don't.
We had a training, I was in training with a lot of
hope just. I'm at a lot of they were
And shift was 2:30, I saw Holly sitting on handling it too. Trying to squeeze it
I brought a full pot here. I've got almost every one of our board members sit here.
It all makes sense now. I'm still on your hands. Keep
Is it really true? You know, I appreciate your response. It's a little deep for I'm game. We'll rain all week. Get some fresh cookies.
Yeah, here. Yes, we'll be sitting back there. So I think everybody knows each other. It'd be great.
Yeah.
I'll let you I think what we have to do is you and Kevin can play. Yeah, that's our Josh.
That could be, but I don't know.
Mine go healthy, right? Well, my phone is on that.
So here we are. His brother-in-law was saying that he's late every time.
I know he's our person.
He's always late. Every time I look, he's always running from somewhere. He's not doing anything.
All right, if I got everyone's attention quickly, we appreciate your patience. We're running a little bit behind schedule, but Superintendent Truitt and Mr. Falconberry from the state is here. Of course, Catherine Truitt is our Superintendent of Public Education for the state of North Carolina. And Jamie Falconberry is with the Department of Public Instruction. I'm not sure what his title is. He's up there, let's put it that way. He's with me. So as soon as they come inside, we'll get started. When he comes in, I think Mr. Gordon will introduce him, do that. We do have LS3P here. I'll ask Kevin wants to have them do that before. Shortly, they're going to give a small presentation of the overview of the high school and what we're proposing. And then, at that point, it's up to Representative Gillespie and Senator Corbin to finish this out. So that's where we're at. So thank you all for being here. We're excited. We hope that, I think this is a big moment, the fact that representatives from Raleigh are coming to see us on this project. I'm just very excited about that. I don't know what else to say. I'll try to contain myself and not stutter too much as we get into it. So again, I appreciate all the representation. Everyone's here. It means a lot to this board. This is a project that we've worked on for a long time, and we're very excited about it. And just because, let's face it, what it's doing, it's for the betterment of our children in Macon County, and it just doesn't get any better than that as far as we're concerned. I'm sure the board, I can't speak for them, but I see them nodding heads. I think they feel the same way. So, as I said, without further ado, I'm going to wait till Kevin to come in, and then we will, bear with us. This may not be the most organized meeting you've ever been to. I apologize ahead of time about that. I'm going to do the best we can. Maybe did I already say that one? Okay. Yes. Talking to Senator Corbin, you lose track of when you have people come in, how quickly a room will fill up, shall we say. And that's a good thing. I'm glad everyone is here. I remember we had the table here and we wanted everybody to be on the same level and down where we can see and go from there. So I think it's working out. It'll be a little cozy. We're all friends here. Isn't that right? And go from there.
Getting a quarter past the high school.
What we'll do is when they come in, we will have to officially call the Macon Board of Education to order. That's because this is a public meeting, and then Mr. Shields will do the same for the Macon County Board of Commissioners, shall we say. Okay. Quickly. Can you do that? We'll let you do it. I thought maybe you're in the ground. You don't want me doing much of anything right now. I'm telling you, my face is so red, she's worried about it, but I'm going to have a heart attack. We'll have a blood test. Pretty sure I should know that.
She's coming. Jay
That's not. Okay, that makes
I used to electric fuel bill, and they fixed it.
When I go down,
I'll always go down. They can do a lot
Sat down. No, yeah, so they've changed.
But we definitely need to get other people like you, whomever had it in there. Christie's main function, she goes in and has we're having problems because they changed, went to this NC suits, they changed the file format, units, they currently don't all the format. And every time Christie uploads it, it's like saying it's not valid or something. But Eunice told Christie they've been trying to talk to the employment security and say, okay, we need feedback. What is wrong with the file? Recreated it the way you see the real law. So they have extended that. Those are only due like the fourth quarter of 23. By January 31st, and then like every 3 months they're due, but they've extended the deadline just to take effect that.
All right, don't get quiet. We have the
How you doing?
These are our board members here. I'll make that work.
Mr. Young.
And Missy Evans, who is our vice chair.
Hey, buddy. How are you, man? How you doing today?
Yeah, I did come to that, however, tonight I was in
And these are representatives from Highlands. I appreciate it. This is the town, this is the council now. Commissioners from the town council. This is Superintendent Truitt.
Hi, very nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
And come last, please, this is Jack Horton. I'll run you past him. Doug is our appointed, his current mayor of Franklin.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Where we have y'all, Kevin, is up front. All right, we good, gentlemen? I'm working right here. Yeah, I'm going from Virginia and then at Toro. Yeah, I'll have a seat, we're going to the meeting, and then we'll be ready to quickly. That's it, sir. Thank you. I'm trying to calm down. Franklin doesn't get visits from folks from Raleigh that often, so we're very excited you're here. Welcome, everyone. This is a called meeting, both a joint meeting of both the Macon County Board of Education and the Macon County Board of Commissioners. So we have to do a little bit of formality, so bear with us. So at this time, I would formally call this meeting of the Macon County Board of Education to order. We're here for the purpose of discussing, I think, and presenting to those that would like to it's in attendance, information about our proposed new high school. We're very excited about that. I think anyone that's been around long enough knows we've worked long and hard, and Senator, we'll talk about Senator Corbin and his efforts here in a minute, but we're excited. We have someone here, and of course we have LS3P. They're here to make a little bit of a 10-minute presentation, so you can go over the highlights of that, shall we say. So again, welcome, and Board of Education is formally in session. Commissioner Shields.
At this time, I'd like to call the to order the Macon County Board of Commissioners, and on January 23rd, 2020, Thanks everyone for being here. Appreciate the extra effort everybody made. Thank you very much for being here.
And with that, it's very important, and I want to emphasize, members of the community, we have representatives from the Chamber of Commerce up here, other people from our community that's been very involved and part of this. So this is a culmination, in the way I look at it, of a lot of effort. We're actually able to present a case, I think it is, and show exactly what we have tried to do for the children of Macon County. It really is important to me, and I'm excited. If you haven't picked up on it already, trust me, I'm very excited. So without further ado, I'm going to shut up, and I'm actually going to turn the meeting over to Senator Corbett at this time, so he can make some introductions.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Breedlove. Thank you guys for being here. Let me give you a little background on this. So the chairman of the board, Paul and Gary Breedlove, and I and Carl have been talking for some time about, you've put together a plan. You've talked to the commissioners. You have the memorandum of understanding. You have all that together. At some point, you're going to apply for this grant. And I want to put you in touch with, Carl, I want to put you in touch with the decision makers, which are here today. And so we tried to arrange a meeting for them, you guys to come to Raleigh, and it just didn't work out between one time it was going to work. I think Catherine was gone, and so it just didn't work out. So Catherine and Jamie called me last week and said, hey, what if we come to Franklin? And I said, well, last I checked, it's the same distance from Raleigh to Franklin as it is Franklin to Raleigh. So thank you for that. So a little background, and unfortunately, I'm probably the one in the room that knows most about it because of my advanced age, Mr. Breedlove, but
Got you beat.
little background, the model is and always has been in North Carolina for Lori, for the county to pay for brick and mortar, for the state to pay for positions. That's the way it's been for a long, long time, before any of us were involved. So to back up, back in the 80s, there was a bond issue. The last one, Carl, I believe, was 93. So it's been a long time ago. The state did a bond issue because there's a feeling that, well, the state ought to help out some with these capital projects, especially in small communities and those kind of things, because to build it locally, you have to raise taxes, and it's a very difficult situation to do that locally. So the idea came about 3 or 4 years ago. We'll do another bond issue. Well, by the time we all turned in our stuff, and that was going to be a $2 to $3 billion bond issue, there wasn't support for it in the General Assembly, not enough to pass it. So the Senate actually came up with the idea, we'll just kind of fund some of these as we go. The House agreed. So we've been putting about $400 million a year. As you can see, it doesn't take long to add up to a couple of $1 billion. We've been paying as we go. We're not borrowing the money. We're doing a pay-as-you-go thing, and what we do is take that $400 million and we give it, or bequeath it, or we allow it to be used by the DPI, and they make the decisions about where it goes, which is kind of where Carl and I come in. So when we don't get involved in local affairs, we've both been there. The decision to build a school is local. The decision to fund a school is local. We were not involved in that decision. But when you apply for a state grant that we have funded, you better believe we're going to be advocating for our counties. Does that make sense? So that's why we're here. So Carl, you want to say a word?
Yeah, I mean, you've done a great job covering it. I think, what Kevin is, I think the point he's trying to make is that, it's not our job to make local decisions. It's a local elected official's job to make a local decision. It's our job to make sure that every day we bring 110% of the available funding back to our district. And that's what we want to do. And I just want to thank our friends from Raleigh for coming out. We recognize the distance. I've measured it both ways multiple times.
623.
It's the same. So we realize that this is taking time out of your busy schedule. We appreciate you being here and appreciate your willingness to listen. And last but not least, I want to thank Senator Corbett for putting this together and being such a wonderful advocate for public schools in North Carolina.
So with that said, let me say just a word of introduction to Secretary Truitt, and she's going to make a few comments, and then Mr. Breedlove, if you would, we'll proceed with the reading. Secretary Truitt has been a friend. We work together on a lot of legislation. She's called on me, I've called on her. We have a good working relationship. She knows how passionate Carl and I are about bringing money back out here. and the uniqueness of this project, and that's why we wanted her to hear and see. As a matter of fact, she wrote to me today, and we've been to Franklin High School today, and she sees firsthand exactly what we're talking about. So she's not someone that just came up through the ranks without knowing what's going on. This lady taught math in high school and middle school. I asked her if she got hazardous duty pay for math in middle school, and so she comes from the ranks of education, and now she's our secretary and does a fantastic job, and I appreciate her. So without further ado, let me just introduce our secretary, Catherine Truitt. Back to her.
Thank you, Senator Corbin, for those kind words, and thank you, Representative Gillespie, for being here. You know, I've always heard that there is life west of Hickory, and now I know it's true. No, actually, I'm kidding, because I've been here. I toured Nantahala School. It was one of the first schools that I came to after I got elected and came to office in January of 2021. And so the West has had a special place in my heart. I toured many counties out of what we think of as the far West, and just really developed a love for this area. And in fact, my newest deputy, who is here with us right there, is a Brevard resident, so that makes Senator Corbin his senator.
I am your senator.
Yes, he is your senator. And so just know that the far West is being well represented in Raleigh at the Department of Public Instruction, as it should be. You know, I am so grateful to the General Assembly for making available this capital needs-based grants, because we do have districts and counties that are in need of some extra help through the lottery funds that they are appropriating. And over $1 billion has been given so far across the state. And I think it's important for everyone in this room to know how well respected these two men are in the legislature in Raleigh, and how they fight very hard every session to make sure that the far West is recognized, that people know what's happening in the far West and how the far West contributes to the economy of the rest of the state, and that resources are coming to the far West because of these two men. So let's give them a round.
Secretary, we do know where Hickory is and where we stop and get gas.
I think we stop there.
Just very quickly, I wasn't sure we want to do this, but if you would allow, there's 3 groups of folks that expressed an interest in saying a word today. With your permission, if you would recognize them, they can address the chair, if you'd like to do it. Chamber of Commerce, Town of Highlands, and Town of Franklin. So however you want to handle that.
All right, let's just start with excited y'all came. Since they're against the wall, we'll start with the Chamber of Commerce. We have representatives. I know Matt Corbin, who is, that name should ring a bell.
Distant relative.
Is currently is the president of the Franklin Chamber of Commerce. And along with him is John Hamlin, who is the past president. And next to him is Bryson Bird, who has been, how many times have you served on the board now? Twice. So without further ado, whichever is Matt.
Everybody knows me.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matt Corbin. Professionally, I serve as a dentist here in town, product of Macon County Schools, and moved back home a few years ago to take over a dental practice, and not long after that got involved with the Chamber of Commerce. So I'm here on behalf of our Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, Executive Director Ms. Linda Harbuck, immediate past President John Hamlin, and our entire board. We got together after getting some news of this meeting to draft a letter of support that I'd like to read to you, Ms. Truitt. So thank you for the opportunity to be here, and thank you for making the trip out here. Also want to thank the school board and the commissioners, Senator Corbin and Gillespie, for your work in getting to this point. Having been a resident of Macon County for a long time, even with our time in dental school and in the military, kept up with what's going on here, and I know that this is a long time coming, and there's been a lot of effort from folks who are sitting in this room and folks who were your predecessors to make this project a reality. So, Mr. Truitt, it's our pleasure to write a letter of support for the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction grant submitted by the Macon County Board of Education and the Macon County Board of Commissioners for a much-needed new high school in Macon County. A new high school for Franklin is of utmost importance to our students, our teachers, and staff for their safety and an updated educational environment. The current high school was built in the early 50s with the first class graduating in 1952. With mounting ADA concerns, facility needs, and safety concerns, a new facility is urgently needed. This new high school project will make our campus experience safe and accessible for all students. As stewards of Macon County's resources, we as a chamber board often get asked about the educational facilities available in our area. The new high school project will benefit our community as a whole and encourage young families to look favorably at Macon County as a place to raise and educate their children. We're excited about the opportunity to establish a facility not only to optimally serve the current generation of Macon County students, but those in the generations to come. Therefore, the Franklin Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors fully supports this grant application as submitted by the Macon County Board of Education and the Macon County Board of Commissioners, and we applaud their efforts to make this much-needed project a reality. Thank you.
I'll recognize Mayor Jack Horton. Jack.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Jack Horton. For those who don't know me, I've been around for a while. Not as long as Paul Higgins, but I've been around.
Close, brother.
I can say after working as the county manager for the county for a lot of years, prior to our new county manager, who was much younger, better looking, and smarter than I was. But I don't know what kind of job he has to do. But I'll say this from my experience working with the county over the years, and Ms. Shields can echo this, the county has always been a big supporter of our school systems. Through the years, we've done a lot of projects on schools and so forth, but this is a tremendous project that's been needed and well documented for a long time. And I applaud the Board of Education, the county commissioners, and everyone together trying to make this project happen. When you look at something that costs as much money as a new high school, it scares a lot of people. But it's going to have to be done. And if we don't do it now, how much is it going to cost 5, 10 years from now? Even more than that. But I'm here today representing the town of Franklin as mayor. It's been my privilege to serve as mayor. I just got reelected in November, so I guess I'll do it for a while longer. But I've talked to each one of our town board members. We have 6 members on the board, and from different capacities and different jobs and so forth. But I talked to each one individually, and they're all in support of this project and this funding if it can come through. And we're going to have we have an annual work session retreat that'll start this Friday, and then we'll finish up on Saturday. But during that retreat, the town board is going to adopt a resolution in full support of this project and this process so that we can get this new high school. We have a lot of great graduates from the high school working throughout the state. As a matter of fact, one of my other part-time jobs is working as an outreach associate with the County Commissioners Association, and we have 2 graduates from Franklin High School that are now strategic project coordinators working with counties in this area of the state to help them with things like opioid funding, ARPA funding, and so forth. And so I think Franklin High School has a great reputation for turning out some really stellar students. One of them sitting right over here, our dentist, and he's sort of related to this guy up here who I've known for a long time. And I'll say this before I sit down. If there's anybody knows about education and the needs in Macon County, it's Senator Corbett. He was probably the youngest person ever elected to the school board in this county. Served for how many years, Kevin?
20 years.
20 years.
I was 22.
22 years.
10 years ago.
Yeah. And I had the honor and the privilege of working with Kevin when he was a county commissioner, also with Paul Gillespie, who was a county commissioner. So they really know what's going on. They have a sense of what's needed, and the entire community, as far as I can tell, are really supportive of trying to make this project work. And so the town of Franklin is going to do what we can do to make sure that we show you and the state we have 100% support for this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mayor Taylor from the
Town Hall.
Town of Highlands, thank you. It's an honor for us to be here today. We have one of the few K-12 schools in the state of North Carolina. So you'd say, well, why are we here? We're here because we believe in the best interest of students.
That's right.
And this will be a tremendous asset for this entire county and region to realize a new Franklin High School. So we endorse this, and I will tell you how we endorse it. We have 3 of our commissioners here today to show our support for this school. We would have had 5, but one commissioner is doing a program in Highlands today on the need for childcare, which is related to education, of course. And then we have another one that could not be here. Brian Steeler could not be here because he has the board meeting with the business corporation today. But we all support this, and we have Commissioner Jeff Weller, Commissioner Amy Patterson, and Commissioner Eric Pearson, and we made the long trip around the Gorge Road today to be here to say we need this new comprehensive high school for this community. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Inviting.
And next, on the agenda, we have a representative from LS3P. I'd ask if they would come and make a summarization of the process we're at and basically where we're at now. Does that sound right, Emily?
Yes.
So.
Try not to stand in front of the video. I'm Emily Kite with LS3P. This is Jamie Henderson, one of my colleagues. We're both architects with LS3P Associates and have been working in Macon County now since the end of 2021. And it's a real privilege to be in this room with and to follow such longtime residents of this community and the advocacy that everybody has for this project. In late 2021, we were hired to begin this process with an assessment of the existing campus to evaluate the needs and the deficiencies on that campus, both in terms of the conditions of the buildings, the safety of the buildings, and the educational sort of adequacy of the space available to operate Franklin High School. And it's the culmination of that process. We made a recommendation that this campus really needed a brand new high school building to be able to accommodate and meet the needs of this community moving forward. And so that launched sort of the next phase, and we've been sort of on this continuum of the design process in designing a new school on this campus. We have an existing campus in the middle of town that is going to have a brand new high school building on it, and then the final phase of the project would be to demolish the remaining existing buildings on the campus. The new building, which you can sort of see a fly-through, we presented this fly-through back in the fall and as part of a community meeting to illustrate the where we were at in the design process at the time. We're continuing to draw our drawings, but the new high school is designed for a capacity of around 1,400 students, and that includes the consolidation of the Bartram Academy Alternative High School program onto the Franklin High School campus. We think that that is a real value add for this community because of the expansive amount of resources available to alternative high school students when they are on the Franklin High School campus. Early intervention, access and deeper resources, access to CTE curriculum and career pathways for those students as well. So that was something that we incorporated as part of this project. So that 1,400 students includes those students from Bartram Academy. We have very deep curriculum of CTE, career technical education programs on this campus. And so we have about 30 classrooms dedicated to CTE career pathways. We have an expansive athletics program at Franklin High School. There's a great deal of coursework throughout the day that is included in athletics, and so that's certainly a big focus of this campus. Everything gets to be in one building, which is great because we've got a series of existing buildings and kids are moving back and forth quite a bit on campus right now, which has presented some ongoing safety concerns for the district. But this building will have everything under one roof. We have a nice secure front entry, and those students can really move through and access all of their daily activities under one roof with the opportunities. Also, you'll see it a minute in this video. There's an outdoor courtyard also that allows students some time during the day to be outside in a protected kind of environment where they're not exposed as well. And so we are right now about halfway through the construction documents phase. For those of you that have been following this process over time, that's the last phase of the project where we draw the documents for construction. And so we're well lined up for the grant consideration process at the moment, and our hope is that our documents would be complete in time for construction to start sort of around that July, like April to July window, depending on how the funding and everything lines up. And so we have been grateful for the opportunity to work with the district and to continue to move this process along in anticipation of y'all's consideration for a grant. And we think we are going to be shovel ready at just the right time should things go our way with the grant award process. So that's all I've got. I appreciate y'all's time today, and thanks for the opportunity to be here.
Ms. Brittle, I think the Secretary had a couple of questions for clarification about the project.
Yeah, so I know your superintendent is here today. One of the questions that I had is, what career and technical education programs do you or will you be able to offer?
I think so they can see it in the camera. I think they wanted, if you could do it with a presenter, was just that. That makes sense.
You want me to ask
Yeah,
questions?
That's what I want.
Ms. Breedlove, is Ms. Strickland in here?
We could get her.
She's right here. She's
She's right here, yeah, so yes, so she has.
That question probably will be Ms. Strickland.
Josh, Colleen, she heard, very good.
So yes, thank you so much for that question. We in Macon County are so very proud of our current CTE offerings. And over the past couple of years, we have been able to bolster and to multiply the number of offerings and pathways that we have been able to provide our students. And we have our current CTE director here, Colleen Strickland, who I feel would probably be best suited to answer that question quickly in a quick format to give you an overall approach of where we're at with CTE.
Great.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. We have been working together as a community and as an educational institution to be able to put in high impact career and technical education pathways in Macon County. So over the last 2 years, we've grown from 8 pathways to 20 pathways. Some of our most exciting pathways that we're offering are aviation. We're one of 2 school districts in North Carolina that offers aviation. Our students are in a 3-course sequence, and at the end of that 3-course sequence, they will be sitting for their private pilot's written exam. Today, we have 7 students who went to take the state EMT test, and we are anxiously waiting their results, but at the end of that, they will be certified as basic EMT students. We have computer science, we have robotics, we have automotive, welding, carpentry, just about anything that our students would like to have. We are putting those into place for them because they need to have those opportunities now. But a new school will allow us to be innovative and cutting edge and have the space that kids need so that they can take their learning to the next level. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
The emphasis on career and technical education classrooms and science labs really caught my eye about your application, so thank you for elaborating on that. You know, in my travels across the state, folks, especially of a certain age, say to me, why don't we have vocational education anymore? And the truth is we do. We do have vocational education. It tends to be more concentrated in our rural counties, and our rural counties do a better job of ensuring that there are multiple pathways for students to consider so that we don't have to tell all students that the only pathway to the middle class is through a 4-year residential college degree. We have a lot of offerings. The General Assembly, in fact, pays for students all over the state to take their exams when they want to earn that certificate in that pathway, for which we're very grateful. So I'm glad to hear about the emphasis on that. You're going to be serving, is it 1,400 students or 1,700 students in total? 1,400, okay. And I did see from the tour that I did with Senator Corbin that you are not ADA compliant right now because of the multiple buildings, and which also means that you have multiple points of entry, which is a safety issue as well. Well, I am very grateful for the time that you all have taken out of your busy schedules to make the journey here, and I am thrilled to tell you that you have so hard on this grant. Come on up.
Mr. Shields, please.
Feel better now, Jim?
My face is not even red now. You say I'm feeling good right now. Gillespie is an understatement. to say the least.
I'm going to take a step in.
Okay, get just a second. Shields is coming out.
Remember Shield?
All right, Mr. Shields, if you'll get it a little bit too. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Jeremy, will you? Yeah. Sorry. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Get out. Thank you.
This was a no-brainer. We could not be more excited to award you this grant. We know that the Franklin Panthers will be so excited to have their new school, and thank you to all of you who worked so hard, and I know you'd like to say a few words.
Yeah, just thank you for the secretary coming out. In our conversation, one thing she'd asked me was, are you sure you want the money?
You wouldn't think that someone would have to ask that question, but.
And I'm gonna leave, there's been a situation or two in the state where, and it's because elections have happened and things have happened, that awards have been given, then counties decided not to use the money. So she asked me a very direct question, does your county want to move forward with it? And I said, with the grant, yes. And she said, well, let's talk, I want to come see how much community support there is for this. And then she agreed to come out here. So if you hadn't supported it, she probably left this in the car. But thank you for coming out, and then to me, just showing folks you care about the Western part of the state.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jim. Anything?
Say thank you for 21 years as principal Franklin High School. Have a good deal.
Jim?
I've now served on the board. I haven't quite kept up with Kevin. I'm on the board now for 15 years. And I'm making it emotional right now.
Go ahead, Bill.
This is the ultimate, since I'm on the board, one of the things we have strived for is to bring this opportunity to our students who are here. It's just incredibly exciting and beyond words. So good. Superintendent Trude, Secretary, whichever. Thank you. Our two representatives, I don't know if the people in our districts realize just what a resource we have in Senator Corbin and Representative Gillespie. They work for us. They're always there. This is just one of many things that they brought to West North Carolina. And sometimes I don't know that they get the credit they should. But gentlemen, thank you. Trust me, in our community, you are very well appreciated. And thank you. That's about all I can say.
Just a comment to the school board and the county commission. The credit goes to the fact that you have a good plan and you have boards that are behind it. If this was a bad plan, Carl and I could advocate all day long for it, and she would not fund it, okay? So it's a good plan, school board, you did a great job with this, and county commissioners, everybody, it's gonna be an exciting time.
Yes, it is.
Goodness, as superintendent of schools, I'm a product of Macon County Schools, and I had the opportunity to go through Franklin High School and graduate from Franklin High School, as did my mom and dad. And as I look to the future, the impact that this will have, I have my own kids who are in this great system, and they will be impacted by this, and their kids will be impacted by this. So we're grateful for the opportunity, and I'm just thankful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for leading your district.
And this is the largest award, I think, of any system has gotten.
Yes, this is the first one as well with this round of grants.
We thought it was 60 million, it's 62.
It's that 10% I was looking for.
So any questions from media or?
Let me just say one thing. As a former principal of Franklin High School with 21 years, I want to say thank you. Some of the former students are in here. We know how we feel about this, and I'm still connected with the Board of Education's liaison as chairman, and also as chairman of the county commission, and they will be delighted that things are moving forward. And we just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to these two gentlemen, for what they've done. And I said, they're the product of Macon High School. He was one of my students.
I was gonna say.
I've got a bunch here, and I want to say thank you for all you've done. These county commissioners here, John Sherrill is not with us today. He's on a cruise. But he's one of us and one of our 5 members, and he also supports education and moving forward. And this is a really historic time. And I'll say this, as a principal of Franklin High School, I wouldn't be here today if it hadn't been for his daddy. Because every football game we had, I told him I was retiring, and every football game we had, his daddy was coming to me and said, "You're going to be our next county commissioner." I said, "You're crazy." I don't know anything about politics. And,
You do now. You're picking up on it pretty quick.
But again, as former principal of Franklin High School, thank you very much. Thank you for all the people who had a part in this. And I want to say thank you to the county commissioners and the Board of Education for their role in it. And especially for Jack and some of those people that led us on there and encouraged us to keep going when we were in the renovation talk and in this room here. And the mayor came down and said, "No, you got to keep going." And so they encouraged us on. And we thank the Highlands for all they've done. Jeff, all of it. Appreciate you. Thank you all very much. There's Mr. Moe back there. He's a former principal too, of a couple of years, but he.
Go Panthers. Well, Catherine did good. She leaned over to me, Robert, and said, "Panthers, right?" And I said, but she remembered that. She said, "Is it Panthers?" So she knew it. Yeah. And that's all we got.
Okay. Sure. All right. One technicality, so at this time, I'd like to vote to adjourn the meeting of the Macon County Board of Education. I have a motion. And a second. All in favor, so say aye. Aye. Any opposed? If you are, you're in trouble.
Motion to adjourn. County Commissioner meeting.
Just for a minute.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Say it. Discussion? No.
All
Whatever that is. Yeah, I have to agree. You're
One step away from being sent home.
I'm trying to control myself. It's tough. Appreciate
it. Okay, this is Bobby with Macon Media. I'm going to be shutting down here soon, and I'll try to have a version up. This is Bobby with MaconMedia.com signing off.
Mr. Shields,